Morning students, today we will start with the topic turning effect of a force. What do you mean by the turning effect? Let us consider a body, and if we are going to apply a force on this body in the direction as shown in the figure, what will happen to this body? This body will start moving in the direction of the force, right? But what will happen if this body is going to be fixed or pivoted at some point O? Let it be the center of the ball. Now we are going to apply a force in this direction. What will happen as the body is pivoted or fixed at this point? So the body will start rotating in this direction around the point, or if we will apply the force in this way, then it will start rotating anti-clockwise around that pivoted point, and the line passing through this pivoted point is known as the axis of rotation. So in this way we can say that if we are going to apply a force on a body which is pivoted at some point, then it will start rotating around that pivoted point in a particular direction. So now we can say that a force has a turning effect on a body which is pivoted or fixed at some point about which it is going to turn. So now what are the factors on which the turning of a body depends upon? We have two factors. Now we have considered that, let us consider a body rectangular in shape, fixed it at some point, let it be O, and I am applying a force F at some point P. So if I'll apply a less force, it will move a less, it will rotate less. But if I'll apply more force, so it will rotate more number of turns. So this way I can say that greater is the force, greater will be the turning in the body. So the turning effect depends upon the magnitude of force. So larger is the magnitude, more is the turning. Second factor is the point of application of force. Here I am applying the force at point P. What will happen if I'll apply force at this point? So if you are going to decrease this perpendicular distance, so the perpendicular distance is the distance between the pivoted point and the point of application of force. So if you are going to decrease this perpendicular distance, the turning effect in a body is going to reduce. So now we can say that we have two factors on which the turning of a body depends upon. First is the magnitude of the force, greater is the magnitude, more is the turning. Second is the perpendicular distance of force from the pivoted point. So more is the perpendicular distance, more will be the turning in a body. According to the turning effect of a body, we come to know that turning effect of a body depends on the product of two things, that is force and the perpendicular distance from the pivoted point. So this product of force and perpendicular distance is known as the moment of force, or we can call it as torque, represented by symbol this, and it is pronounced as tau. So tau means torque, means moment of force, becomes equal to force into the perpendicular distance. So we can write it as F into OP. OP is actually the O is the pivoted point, P is the point where the force is applied. So the distance between O and P is called as OP. So tau is equals to force into perpendicular distance. So it is depending upon two things, F and D. So if we want to maximize this value of torque or moment of force, what we can do, for a given value of force, we can increase the perpendicular distance in order to increase the moment of force for a given force, right? So to produce maximum torque for a given force, we have to increase the perpendicular distance. Next is the unit of moment of force. So as we know that the formula for the torque is going to be F into perpendicular distance. So if we are known to the formula, then we can derive its SI unit as well as its CGS unit. So first we will derive the SI unit of the torque, that comes equal to force is having SI unit Newton, distance we can measure in meter in case of SI unit. But we cannot write Newton into meter, it can be written as joule, but here we cannot write it as a joule because joule is a unit of energy and this torque is not a form of energy. Now the CGS unit, force, CGS unit of force is going to be dyne and distance is measured in centimeter. So CGS unit of moment of force is going to be 9 centimeter. How we are going to convert from SI to CGS? Now 1 Newton meter can be written as 10 to the power 7 9 centimeter. So if the value is given in Newton meter, if you want to convert it, directly multiply that value with 10 to the power 7. Why 10 to the power 7? Because we know that 1 Newton equal to 10 to the power 5 9 and 1 meter equals to 10 to the power 2 centimeter. That's why it will become equal to 10 to the power 7. Now the gravitational unit. So 1 kgf meter. kgf is the unit of force, gravitational unit of force, and distance having meter. So if you want to convert it into SI, multiply by 10. Similarly for the CGS, gram force into centimeter will be the gravitational unit in case of CGS. And how to convert it into the CGS? 10 to the power 3. So depending upon the point of application of force, a body can rotate in two ways. Like if you are going to apply the force at the bottom, so it will rotate according to this force anti-clockwise, and if you are going to apply the force at the top, it will move clockwise around the axis of rotation, right? So for the calculation work, we have considered that anti-clockwise moment of force. This way we will consider it at positive value, and the clockwise moment of force we will consider it as negative, only for the calculations, in order to find the net moment of force in a body. Now we have few examples in our daily life. For example, door handles are always at the edge of the door. Why is it so? Because in this way we are increasing the perpendicular distance, and we know that by increasing the perpendicular distance with the fixed value of force, you can increase the moment of force, or you can increase the turning effect of force. So in this way we have to apply less force in order to open the door. The same is the case in hand floor grinder. In case of this hand floor grinder, the handle of this is at the edge of the rim, so that we have to apply minimum force in order to have the turning effect in the rim, as you can see in the picture given on your screen. Another example for this is the turning of a steering wheel. You can see this on your screen, that we are applying the force at the rim of the steering, so that we have, with the minimum force, we can have the maximum turning effect in the steering. And last one, in case of spanner, the handle of the spanner is too long, so that we need to apply minimum force at the edge of the spanner in order to have the maximum turning effect in the spanner. Thank you so much.